problem is, they read it. Oh, wait a minute. Check that. Here's your problem. Right here. But not according to knowledge. What knowledge? The knowledge of his book. What God says about himself. That's people's problem. They got a zeal, but it ain't the right kind. It's not God's, it's their own. He brings the counsel and plans of the people to no effect. The counsel, the wisdom, and what God says out of his mouth stands. How long? Forever. The plans, the purposes of God's heart to how many generations? Every single one of them. Generations essentially means ages. Because there's multiple ages. Friend, I beg you, get to know the right God. Get to know that God intimately. And the kind of questions that you're asking me, you won't have to ask him anymore. Because you're going to know and understand from God's own view how he viewed his creation. There are many plans in who? In a person's heart. A human's heart. Nevertheless, you know what God just said? I do not care what their plans are. Kevin, your God is careful. Careful. You should be saying the next word. Kevin, your God is a potentate. Because that's what he is. That's what he is, friends. And it doesn't matter. Nevertheless, the Lord's counsel, only that will stand. Will the plans of some man stand? No. Not God. It may stand to you. It may stand to me. But God says no, not before him. The Lord of hosts has sworn, saying, surely as I have thought, so it shall come to pass. As I have purposed, so shall it stand. Friends, this is the God of the Bible. If you're thinking any other way, you got the wrong one. Your God isn't the God of the scriptures. As I thought, so it shall come to pass. As I have purposed, so it shall stand. For the Lord of hosts has purpose. Listen to the Most High. Who is going to say, no, it's not going to happen? And if you have free will, you can say it's not going to happen. You can annul what God thinks. You can annul what God has purpose. If you have free will. But you don't. His hand is stretched out. Who, my friend, would turn it back? Who can do it? Name me any of God's creation. Go ahead. No, friend. If that's your way of thinking, You have a God, but it ain't the God of the book. And it won't matter in the end. You see, friends, when Kevin, think about my Father, the Lord my God, that's what comes to my mind. What you just read, all those scriptures. So every single thing that I read in the book, in the Bible, I read it through those lenses with a complete understanding of who God is from God's perspective, not from my own. So I never read the scriptures based on how I feel, based on what I think, based on what I believe it says. It doesn't matter what I believe it says. The only thing it matters is what God actually said. If you read the Bible through your own limited, finite mind and understanding, then you will have a problem with what God declares. And this is why people have problems with the book. Why? Well, let me introduce you to the Most High God. Look at what he says. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, nor are my ways your ways, my ways, says the Lord. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. For as the rain comes down and the snow from heaven, and do not return there, but water the earth, and make it bring forth bud, that it may give seed to the sower and bread to you. You know what God is saying? All creation obeys me. All creation does exactly what I tell it to do and commanded it. And it doesn't get a choice. Listen to what he says. As it comes down from heaven, listen, do not return. Why? Because I said don't. Go do what I said. And that's all you can do. So shall my word be that goes from my mouth. It shall not return to me void, but it shall accomplish what I please. This God word about pleasing you and me. No. No. If you think God is worried about pleasing you, you got the wrong God. And this is where all these prosperity demons out there deceiving the mess out of people, that God is supposed to be a servant to you, that God is seeking to please you. Get out of here, man. God ain't seeking to please no one but himself. It shall prosper in the thing for which I sent it. What is that? God's purpose. Whose purpose? God's purpose. God has a purpose for allowing and doing everything that he's allowing and doing. But the Lord said to Samuel, do not look at his appearance or at his physical stature, because I have refused him. Why? For the Lord does not see anything like man sees it. God, listen, your viewpoint is like this. You know nothing. I know nothing. We know nothing together. Man can only see things from an outward appearance perspective. That's all you have a viewpoint of. And that view is very limited. How do I know that? Come on, man. The things that are invisible, can you know them? Can you see them? No. I have no idea what my neighbor's doing right now. Why? Because I can't see him. I'm not there. I don't know what he's saying in his mind, even if I was there. But the Lord looks at the heart, and he looks at every heart all the time. Nothing's hidden from him. 1 Chronicles 28, As for you, now David is talking to his son. Listen to David and his advice. Know the God of your father and serve him with a loyal heart. Listen, and a willing mind. For the Lord searches all hearts and understands all. Listen to God. Folks, please. Understands all the intent behind your thoughts. Is God worried about your actions? No. No. Why? Because you have secret motives behind what you do. You have secret motives behind what you say. But they're not secret to God. If you seek him, he will be found. Whoa, 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 whoa. Is David telling Solomon that he has the capability of seeking God? No. No, David knows better than that. Why? Because he was the one that wrote in the Psalm that there's no one that seeks God. So what is David saying? God is going to find out. He's going to show you your true self, Solomon. But if you forsake him, he will cast you off forever. You see,